tonight's episodes is fuck us. We can't think of shit to say.
No, we can't. Something koi.
Something about the size of koi.
Yeah, something about the size of koi.
Woo! That's our episode for tonight.
Yep.
Look forward to it. Today we're going to actually talk a little bit about koi, how big they get, how quick they get there.
Right, because
we didn't really know what to call that, so we're kind of joking, or we were joking around about it, but basically we have... Size matters. Do I have that shirt? I don't have that shirt on.
No, I don't either.
But no, we were just kind of wanting to talk a little bit about koi, how fast they grow, normal.
Yeah, there's so many variables.
It's a lot of variables.
Now, that's one thing that when it comes to people who own ponds, they want those gigantic, beautiful, big fish
we ran into that.
As soon as possible. Yes, we recently ran into that. They want those as soon as possible.
Right.
And the only way you're going to get, you're going to start a pond and have big, giant fishes by
if you
spending
buy
thousands
big giant
of
fish to
dollars
start with.
Yeah, you're going to be spending a pretty penny for that.
We don't recommend that. Well, I guess if you have the money,
if you have the money, by
go
all
for
means. You know, there are plenty of dealers out there that'll sell you, like 2-foot koi, but expect to spend, maybe upwards of $1,000 or more,
depending on the type of koi you want. Butterfly, there's colors, there's shipping.
Shipping's fun.
So many options. So many options,
but most people start with young
we
koi.
do have some footage of our little fry growing. I was gone for a week. I was up in a training class, and I came back, and they had grown exponentially.
Yeah,
Shiva had
shibukas.
Well, no, I meant even the koi in the she had Kimio had grown.
Yeah.
And she didn't notice it because she's here with them. But I'm not saying they grew 4 feet. I'm just saying they grew enough that it was noticeable to me.
Right.
So.
But when it comes to koi, there are a lot of variables. So we're going to start with just the standard timeline.
Right.
Basically, koi hatch, I want to say about a week to 10 days.
5 to 10 days is what
days after the eggs are laid, you'll start getting the fry.
Right.
And I can identify koi fry really easily because they're generally all white.
Right.
So when we had an accidental breeding the first time we had an accidental unauthorized breeding, we ended up with about six fry.
6, and one didn't make it past a year.
Right. Yeah. So we skipped them up out of the sump, put them in an aquarium, and we were able to, it was kind of neat because we were able to watch how they were growing and how fast they were growing.
Right.
And
they were different, they were all born at the same time, but they had different growths. But standard for the most part. Kind of
but it gave us a good idea of a
timeline, basic timeline, right?
So generally, when they got about maybe 2 months old, they were the size where the ones that we have in the kitchen are now, which was our second unauthorized breeding.
Yeah,
issue. Or when
we had koi and shibukin out there that had some fun.
Yeah, had some fun without our permission.
Yeah. So they didn't ask for mommy's permission for that crap.
Right.
But
so figure by the time they're about 2 to 3 months old, they are going to be too big for a 20-gallon tank.
Right, because these are getting there. They're not quite there yet, but
but I'm getting ready to move them tonight, I think, into a 55.
Yeah, because they're almost too big.
Right. Now, with Kimyo, who's our other youngest one,
which we're not sure how old Kimyo is.
I'm taking a guess that she's
6 months,
6 to 8 months.
6 to 8 months is what I would have guessed as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm guessing she's
just
about
by the size, because we've had several. Like I said, we've had several that we watched. So she's around 6 to 8 months. We call her she, but it could be boy. We don't know.
Yeah. So I'm guessing we're at about 6 to 8 months old, and she's probably got another month before she's ready to go into the pond, because she's still a little too small, and I have a feeling that fish like sushi and koshi will just knock her out of the way for food.
Right, she's a little bit too small to compete with the bigger ones now.
Now
she's the biggest in the tank right now, but she will not be the biggest in the pond.
Yeah, she's going to be in for a little shock here soon.
Yeah.
Now, our koi are the ones that we've had the longest, not necessarily the oldest, but the ones that we've had the longest are 7 years old. And we have like sushi, who is well over a foot long now.
Yeah, well over.
And then we also have koshi. Now
Koshi's younger.
Yeah, Koshi's a lot younger.
Koshi's what, maybe 3?
We got koshi in November of 2020.
Yeah, so Koshi's 3.
Yeah. And
Koshi's huge.
She's huge. Now we have footage of Koshi, who's one of our Karasu, We got her in November 2020, and we got her when she was, I would guess, her about 2 months old, maybe.
Yeah, she was young.
2 to
Very
3 months old. There were 3 of them. Now, out of those 3, they were all from the same clutch, and they grew at different paces.
Right.
So we originally had them in a 10-gallon tank just to get them acclimated. Then we moved them to a 55 when they got bigger. And then after a few months, they were outgrowing that quickly, so we put them into the pond.
Right.
Now,
then she took steroids when we were watching.
Right, because Maka, who's one of the 3, is rather small, and then we have Gecko, who's a little bit larger.
Yeah.
And then Koshi, like she said, took steroids. Koshi is rivaling Sushi in size.
It's ridiculous. It's
and she's
amazing.
Only 3 years
and
old.
she's only 3 years old. So there are growth differences. Don't get us wrong, but the standard for the first year is usually you can kind of measure it up to about a year, and then they go crazy. It's like they hit puberty and they go psycho.
Yeah.
Some of them stay small. Like we have Hakai. He's still small.
Yeah,
7, 8 years later.
Hakai's 7 years old at least.
And he's only
small.
he's only what, 8 or 9 inches.
Yeah.
And skinny and tiny. I mean, he's definitely
like that too.
And Keiko's about 5, and he's small. We know he's a boy, but he's small. So we don't know that he's ever going to be larger, as large as some of the others. But there's no rhyme or reason after about a year.
Right. Now, the only way you can really get a kind of better idea of how big your fish is going to get and whether or not it's going to grow quickly is if you happen to know what their bloodline is.
Right. Like we know Sushi's babies get big quick. We know. So that's the kind of thing. If we bred Sushi with a male that's bigger, we're most likely going to have big babies.
Yeah.
We're guessing.
Yeah, the jumbo line.
The jumbo line.
So if you're looking for fish that are going to grow quickly, your best bet is going to be going to a breeder who specializes in
the
like
jumbos. Yeah.
Or talk to people like us who have jumbos and who can special breed them for you. But
And if you want if you want the long fin, if you want the certain colors, there are breeders that breed exactly for that. They may not breed for size, they may breed for coloring.
Right,
so
but there are some that breed for size.
There's some that breed for size, there are.
Honestly, when it comes to koi breeders, the larger the fish, the more it's going to cost.
Right.
Right, because like you paid, what, $75?
$75 for Kimyo, yeah.
And she's a rarer type, she's a long fin Sankei. But if she would have been like a foot long, you would have been paying a hell of a lot more than $75 for her.
So yeah, they're not cheap. If you want to, Shiva wanted a specific coloration, a specific long fin. So when we found them, I got it for her for her birthday. She was having a bad day, so I bought her a freaking $75 fish. Why not? What's one more fish?
She's still not the most expensive fish we have.
Still not the most expensive fish we have.
That would be
Hoseki. Hoseki was the most expensive fish we ever bought. And that was what, 90?
95.
95.
Yeah.
And then I want to say the cheapest are probably 20.
Not even. I think the
$14.99.
Like
$14.99.
Yeah.
So, but now look at all of them. They're super healthy. We've had really good luck with ours.
Yeah.
But again, if you definitely want size because you have a nice big pond, you want to check with a jumbo breeder. Hey, check with us. We might be able to work something out.
Yeah.
We now know how to do it. We actually had researched a little bit when we had someone come up to us and say that they wanted a couple of babies. We're going to say a couple, but many fish, and we researched it and figured out a way that we could help you out. But it's a whole nother show.
Yeah, that's a whole
nother show. But yeah, we'll show you some footage of the different sizes as they grow. After about a year is when, like I said, I think that's when all bets are off for us.
Yeah.
At least that's how we found out.
Right.
Up to about a year, we can kind of guestimate how old they are. After that, if you don't know, there's no rhyme or reason because some of them go crazy and some don't.
I mean, if you look in our tank, you'll see like Hakai is like 2 years older than Sushi, and he's small compared to Sushi, who's gigantic. So you can't really go on age when.
Well, even the 5 that we have, the 5 that we have alive that we bred by accident, their sizes are
across the board. Yeah.
I mean, Ebby's probably the smallest.
Yeah, Ebby's the smallest.
And she's a good size, but she's the smallest.
Gesu and Yarrow are huge.
Huge, just absolutely huge.
Yeah.
So we'll try to show you some footage. It's a hit or miss kind of thing, but it's kind of fun to watch. If you have a pond, I recommend getting them in a mid-size or small and then watching them grow because it's fun to watch them. They change colors.
Yeah, now what we do is we do keep baby koi in aquariums just simply because they can't compete with the larger fish for food. So whenever you see koi in our aquariums, we're either medicating them because they're sick or they're young, and we're getting them to a size
where they can compete for food, because they don't care if the babies haven't eaten dinner yet.
Yeah.
They are not human. They can care less.
Yeah, they don't
will
let
steal
the kids
it.
eat first.
Yeah. I mean, we've watched sushi steal food right out of another fish's mouth.
Yeah, but we've also seen Koshi do that.
Koshi too. But I'm just saying. So the bigger ones are they are not going to go, oh, here, you haven't eaten yet, sweetie, let me feed you. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, so we always keep the young koi in aquariums.
And so if they're not all young, I would recommend keeping them until they're a little larger. Like, say if you have a bunch of big ones already and you don't just throw a baby in there, it'll not get enough food.
Yeah.
It'll stay small too long.
Yeah. So keep your very young koi, like your fry, up to, once they get to be about like 6 inches is when I start looking into putting them in the pond.
Right.
Usually about 8 is definitely, after 8 inches you definitely want to put them in the pond, but about 6 is a good.
Right.
Good. By then they've developed their speed and their.
Yeah, because I think we put we put the crows in there about 6 to 8, and one of them was really scared, and still they were very small. And
yeah, Koshi is now gigantic.
Yeah, I'm just saying Koshi was the chick. But anyway, like, subscribe, comment, share below if you have any differing opinions. We'd love to hear those because we love to hear arguments.
Now, another way that you can get large fish right off the bat is by looking for people who are looking to rehome fish.
Yeah, there are sites
There
out
are
there.
sites, and they're also like on social media. If you go to groups, there are specific groups for rehoming fish.
Right.
This happens when somebody gets a smaller pond and they throw a few koi in there, and after a few years the koi get too big and they want to get smaller koi, and they have to find something to do with these larger koi. So they'll go on these groups and say, hey, I've got a 16-inch
whatever,
or something, or whatever, and people find out where they're at and either go get the fish or they'll bring them to you, or however they work it out. But that's a way. They are generally free. If people are charging a rehoming fee, it's permissible. But most of the time, if somebody puts up like a 1.5 foot long.
Usually they're desperate
koi,
at that point.
yeah.
They're usually desperate to find a home that's safe.
Well, the thing is that when they put up a 1.5 foot koi for free, that's going to get snatched up real quick. So you have to be on the ball for that. A lot of them will ask you to send a picture of your pond so they can be sure that it's big enough to handle the fish.
Right.
Because koi people are pretty protective of their koi.
Right. Yes, they are. It is a thing. It is a real thing.
Believe me, if we were, when we get to the point where we're looking for homes for adult babies, we'll be asking for pictures. Yeah, show us what you got.
Show us what you got. So, but yeah, I mean, by all means, like, subscribe, share, comment below. We'd love to hear your stories, because there's always stories, and we love to hear about them. Buy stuff from our store. Stores. I have a shirt on, and
I don't. I've got a prototype of one I'm working on.
Okay.
This is a prototype.
And we also have the ornaments.
The Fishy Shop.
Because we do still want to make koi rana, so help us out.
Yeah.
Buy some stuff.
Yeah, but the ornaments are all handmade ornaments that we've made. We've also got the filter cages now.
Oh yeah,
which are.
Let's talk about that.
Which are our own invention.
They're Shiva's invention.
Seriously, koi.
Yeah, I know. They're getting antsy back there. They're laughing at us.
Yeah, they are. Look how big we are. Splash.
Yeah. So, but no, like, subscribe, share, comment, buy some stuff.
Yeah, all the links are in this section.
Of course, obviously, yep, absolutely.
Or Mr. Captions will throw the link.
After he insults us a bit.
Oh yeah, always.
Yeah, I know. Sure, I did some things that I'm going to earn that one tonight. But anyway, have a great evening.
Oh, I can tell you immediately what he's going to say. He's going to say, we did a whole episode on size and we didn't get one dirty joke out of you.
I'm sorry.
Sandy's slacking.
I'm slacking.
You feeling it okay?
It's been a long week. It's been a long week.
If you're worried about Sandy, comment below.
Fuck you all. And Mr. Captions too. Because I'm sure he's going to have fun with that one.
You know, bitch.
But have a good evening, and we will see you next time.
Bye.